All right, everybody, Antique Motorcycle Revival, and just giving an update today on some of the things that we've been doing on the trusty pan. Finally got it dialed in, put it through some heat cycles, drove it a little bit, and then re-tightened up all the bolts on the heads and everything like that. Despite my best efforts, and I took my time too, I cleaned it. I put a thin coat, a new gasket and thin coat on each side of it. But I've got a little bit of a leak right there on the valve pan. And that's the only thing, it's leaked any. But it's running like a top. My next move is going to be to go to the tank shift, pull the transmission out, and do that. And hopefully we'll get a video on it. So what I've been working on right now is dialing in the oiler for the chain. And I talked about this before with that 42, the one actually sold. He's coming to get it Thursday, I think. But dialing it in is a little different on these. These have a like a tube on a pan, and I want to show you here what it looks like, and they're a little bit different of a situation. On a flathead 45, you don't have the same setup. This Panhead, the crankcase breather and the oiler come out at the same place here. And so I'm gonna see if she can get in there and see this, but you can see the tube back in there. Barely, maybe. But there's a tube right here that comes out right there, comes through the motor, and it's a big tube. I mean, it's about yay big. And when you've got it started, you'll have crankcase pressure a little bit coming out of there, and then you release a little bit of oil with this oiler. I'll show you how this works on the 57 over here. So over here on this side, you have a little nut on this one. The 42 had shims on it, and I think the earlier Panheads had shims. But this one has a little nut on there, and according to the book, you dial it out 1 inch. So I've been letting this one, it's been sitting for 4 or 5 days because I've been gone. And so I've let it clean out really good on the setting upright like this over there on the primary side. And so now what I'm going to do is I got it turned out 1 whole turn. I've got it down to that, and I'm going to bottom it out, turn it back, and then take that little nut and tighten it down and seal it up. That I'm hoping will cure the right amount of oil. You want a little bit of oil. You know, when you pull over for a while and it's setting upright anyway, you want a little bit of oil coming out of that. You want that chain oiled, you know, but you don't want to be spraying oil everywhere, you know, on that. I had another problem right here. I had the leaks right in there. You know, you got your cork gaskets in there for these, you know, for your push rod tubes here, and you have a seal here, a seal here, and a seal here. And these are cork, or in this case, I tried the rubber type, but I couldn't get it to stop leaking. And so what I did, and this is a great thing. I mean, if I'd known this earlier, but I'm talking to my buddy Mark, and you've got a set of springs in here on these. How they work is you just take your screwdriver and pull down and pull that cap off, and they loosen up. And you've got a set of springs in there. Take them things apart, clean them up good, and then stretch that spring. I put it over there on the vise where I could pull up on it a little bit, or take 2 pair of needle nose and stick in it and stretch it a little bit. And I did that to 2 of those that was giving me a little bit of problems. I haven't bothered the front ones yet. But I did that to those, and it dried them up just like that. What it does, it puts more pressure down on top of your gaskets there. So I got that taken, all the oil leaks except for the valve pan there a little bit. I've got all the oil leaks fixed except for that. And I think I'm close to getting the right amount of oil on that chain. And and I'm curious if any of y'all got some thoughts on how much oil or how to set that. I'm kind of just trying to do it trial and error. And one turn out seems to be quite a bit of oil right now anyway. I might dial it in a little bit, but I don't want to wear the chains out either. And I changed the oil, changed the filter, and I'm going to be doing that regularly for a little while. But now this thing it's so much fun, and it's running like a sewing machine. But last week, this is the final part on this on the Panhead. Last week I've been, kicking it, just go out for a ride almost every evening. I'll come in and do it. And I have a bad back where I worked underground in the coal mines for years, and my back is not good at all. And so I'll put that brace on, and I kick the motorcycle like this from the side. And I've been doing that. I probably started this motorcycle 150 times that way, maybe more. And I'll kick it from the side, and retard it and all that. It's a one kick motorcycle. Well, I'd primed it a couple of times, really needed just one. Put a little bit too much gas in it. And what happens is I went to retard, and I come up here and pulled the throttle up, and I went to start it, and it did just a little bit of a kick back on me. And when it did that, my foot was on the front, and it kicked my foot up, and it pulled my muscle out right here. We're gonna get a look at this right here. All of that. Oh yeah, isn't that nice? Somebody said, why are you wearing them shoes? Because that's the only shoe I can wear right now. They're that soft rubber, and I'm in pain. I pulled the muscle here, and up my calf muscles. They come down, and they're attached to the sides. Luckily, I did not pull them in two. So, note to self, when you're going to kick a Panhead over like that, no matter how many times you've got by with it with shoes on, I had regular leather shoes on, anytime you've got by with it, take some advice from somebody who's injured, okay? Put some boots on, tie the kind of boots you tie up that's going to come up over your ankle and give you some ankle support, and don't play the stupid games or you win stupid prizes. That's the key to that, okay? So there's a little bit on that, and if anybody's got any thoughts on you got some, just about how to set that screw and how to get that, you might save me a lot of trouble there. But the pan is running like a sewing machine, and the racer is too. So I'm kind of in one of those moments, if you fool with old motorcycles, you already know this. You're lucky if they're all running and you ain't having any problems, at all. But they're all running right now, running well, having a good time with it. So I guess the next question is, are you able to ride the pan now? And I said, well, sure I am. I'll tell you the same thing I told my wife. I said, I cannot kick it anymore with this leg, and so now I put the boots on and I kick it with this leg and fire that thing off either way. But we're not going to be stopped, everybody. We're not going to be stopped. We're going to ride, and if I'm able to get the thing going, I'm going to jump on it and put the back brace on and take off, until I'm not able to do it anymore. But anyway, that's the update on that, and I'm excited about it. I'm about to start on the chopper. That's going to be the thing that I'm about to light in on. I'm going to get this wheel fixed, the fender set where it needs to be, seat, gas tank. We'll start making a video of all that and show you what I've done, and kind of we're going to lower these down, get these way down, because right now the bars are up here on you when you sit on it. So we're going to try to get that extended away from you a little bit more. You just got to play with these things. You mock them up a little bit, and I don't know about that. Do something else, mock it up a little bit. And I was watching Pacific Mike on his flathead doing the same thing, just mock it up and play with it some, and that's what you do. And so about to start on that though, and the chopper, ultra cool chopper. Panhead's running like a dream, racer's running good. Of course, the reliable 42's running good, and all is well. I want to take just a second and ask you if you would to subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate everybody's doing that and help us to get the word out. We're gonna be trying to tune in on these things a little bit, and we'll see what happens next. I'd say next is gonna be the chopper though, so we'll see you then.